Have you ever had the idea for the best app ever and just lacked the technical know-how to actually make it happen? It could have made you millions, but you don't know code, databases, or server rules, and your friends are just useless stoners who can't code either? We live in beautiful times, because now you don't have to be a master in any of this, and you can still publish your very own app and rake in those millions. Let me tell you the tale of the Rebel Chef and how the teamwork with Anti-Gravity developed this faint idea into a full app on Google Play. It all started with my mom's ancient cookbook and my fear that after losing her, I might also lose the recipes of my childhood. My favorite cake she always prepared on my birthday, her special goulash, or her pork roast, a feast for eyes and palate alike. Some of her signature dishes had been handed down through generations, and now they were fading away in a little tattered notebook. I can't remember what gave me the crazy idea for an app to save my mom's treasures, but at some point I started chatting with Anti-Gravity. Hey, my mom's old cookbook is falling apart. Can you help me develop a tool so I can save her recipes onto my cell phone? Mind you, I didn't have and still don't have any clue about JSON, CSS, database architecture, servers, HTML, or UX design. No idea about compilers, deployment rules. I hadn't even consciously opened a terminal window on my MacBook like ever. But Gravy, as I affectionately started calling my anti-gravity partner, guided me very patiently through my darkest hours of clueless ignorance. He took on more roles than I can count, and he designed the user interface as well as the database and set up the local server on my laptop. He created a test environment locally on my iPhone and expertly guided me through the decisions of which AI OCR tools to choose. At countless occasions, I threw an idea or a random question at him and blatantly just asked for his advice. And he always came back with a solid summary of options. The best experiences were the ones where I realized that I had an endless, tireless team of virtual senior specialists at my disposal. Because sometimes Gravy needed a minute to come up with an answer. That's when he was lacking a tool or an expertise to fulfill my request. Then he just downloaded an additional extension to his program. The AI equivalent of hiring a new team member for a specialized task. Just without the real-life onboarding friction that comes with every new human team member that joins an ongoing project. I remember the exact day I realized this app wasn't just a digital notepad for recipes, but growing into something genuinely powerful. Just casually, I had told Gravy how messy cooking can get, and that I hated scrolling down my phone screen with hands covered in flour and egg yolk. Within a single afternoon, Gravy had rewired the whole app to include a multilingual text-to-speech narration engine directly into the flow. A casual conversational instruction had prompted the AI to generate all the necessary logic and audio hooks so I didn't have to mess up my screen. But the text-to-speech engine is just one of many features. Let me actually show you what Gravy and I have come up with so far. Just snap a photo of any messy handwritten recipe in any language, any character set or writing style, Cantonese, Japanese, Cyrillic, or Ketov. The AI engine scans it, parses the writing, instantly builds a digital recipe card, and wraps it with a mouth-watering picture of the dish. So put yourself in a little cafe in Paris. You're sifting through a French magazine, and there it is, the perfect recipe for an authentic French fish soup. You take a pic, the app translates the recipe into perfect English and saves it together with an AI-generated image of the dish. Back home, the app creates a detailed shopping list, and when you get cooking, it reads the instructions to you so you don't miss a step. But I didn't want to stop there. I also wanted to trade my recipes with friends and family, so I ended up with a powerful social network for fellow chefs. You can publish your favorite dishes to the community feed, rate recipes from other chefs around the world, or DM them directly. Say you find a new recipe you want to try, you tap a button, and everything is ready for you, from shopping list to cooking instructions. Of course, it wasn't just smooth sailing all the time. We definitely hit our fair share of roadblocks, and we spectacularly broke things. Like this one day, when our authentication system completely failed, causing users to get permanently locked out every time they closed the app. If I were alone, I would have spent a month pulling my hair out trying to understand memory persistence states or some other nerd stuff. Instead, I just delegated the heavy lifting to Gravy. I pasted the crash log into the prompt box, leaned back, and poured myself a cup. He calmly diagnosed the issue, rewrote our entire Firebase initialization script using async storage, and deployed a patch while I sipped my coffee. That's when the dynamic really clicked. I was the visionary guiding the ship, and Gravy was the engine room, aggressively pushing forward. But then came the final boss of mobile app development, actually getting it approved by the Apple App Store and Google Play. Navigating Apple's developer certificates and getting an app bundle through the App Store Connect portal is a nightmare for any beginner. Don't even get me started on the Google Play rules, where they force you to recruit a minimum of 20 real people for a rigid test protocol. And these people are supposed to continuously test your app for 14 days before Google will even talk to you. Gravy held my hand through the maze. He drafted all the mandatory privacy policies, liability rules, and financial documents. He also configured deployment keys, wrote compliance summaries, and even managed release strategy and error reports. And that brings us to today. The Rebel Chef isn't just an idea sitting in a chat prompt. It is a living, breathing application on the App Store and Google Play. My mom's faded handwriting isn't just safe from being lost to time, it's physically digitized and safely stored on Google's cloud servers. Her most valued recipes have been perfectly translated into 5 languages and are ready to be cooked by anyone throughout the globe. And I didn't have to spend a decade earning a computer degree or mortgage my house to hire an expensive outsourced dev team. It was just me and my buddy Gravy, Google's anti-gravity development agent, who did all the coding and technical heavy lifting. So if you are currently sitting on $1 billion idea and you aren't bringing it to life because you think you aren't technical enough, then think again. Because the tools to build even the craziest ideas without any or almost no technical know-how are right at your fingertips. Start chatting with Anti-Gravity about your visions and see what he or another dev agent of your choice can do for you. You know, there is this persistent underlying fear in pop culture right now that AI is coming to replace us, to extinguish human creativity. But my journey with Gravy proved the exact opposite to me. AI isn't a threat, it is a true partner, the ultimate amplifier for human ambition. It didn't steal my creativity, it empowered it. It didn't take my job, it actually allowed me to do a job I never thought I was qualified for. The future belongs to the dreamers who learn how to master these amazing tools. Thank you for watching, and stay rebellious. Oh, I almost forgot. Subscribe and all that obvious stuff.
That too.
But even more importantly, we are still taking on testers. There are a couple of slots left, so go to the link below and apply. In return, you will get to use the Rebel Chef app for free, for life. Bye.